Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep into Squid Game Season 2 today.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, so we've got this really cool article called Squid Game Season 2. Finish watching, let's talk.
Okay.
And I think we can just jump right into it since, everyone listening has already seen the season.
Yeah, makes sense.
No need to, go through all the plot points again. So let's just get to the good stuff.
Right into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. What do you think was the most interesting thing about the article, or like the thing that stuck with you?
You know, I thought it was really cool how they pointed out that, like, the show itself is all about exploitation, right? But then it becomes this huge global thing.
Oh yeah, with like merchandise and all that.
Exactly. And it kind of makes you think, right? Like, isn't that kind of ironic?
It really is. Like, it's almost like it's holding up a mirror to us as viewers.
Yeah, like, we all love the show, but are we part of the problem?
It makes you question, like, how much we're all participating in, this whole system of, like, capitalism and demand and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And the show, I think, wants us to think about that, like how our choices impact things, even just watching a show.
Totally. Okay, so, moving on, let's talk about Gi-hun.
Okay, yeah.
This season, he's, like, totally different. He's not just a player anymore. He's trying to take the whole thing down.
Right. He's going from, like, victim to, like, almost a revolutionary.
That scene in the first episode where he plays Russian roulette with the recruiter.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Oh, my God. So
It
intense.
shows how much he wants to prove a point, that these games are messed up.
And that scene with the bread and the lottery tickets, ugh, so powerful. Like, they have a choice, but do they really?
Exactly. And the recruiter choosing to lose. Like, what does that even mean?
Like, he's giving up or admitting it's all pointless.
I don't know. It's so thought-provoking.
Yeah, it really makes you think. And speaking of thought-provoking, how about the frontman's backstory?
Ooh, yeah. Talk about morally complex. This season, we get to see a bit of, where he came from, why he's doing this.
Yeah. It's dark, man. But also, like, kind of understandable in a twisted way.
I know what you mean. Like when he says, the games will continue as long as society keeps filling up with trash.
Yeah.
Chills.
It's scary because it's like a mindset we see in the real world, too.
Oh, totally. Like with some CEOs or politicians, it's that whole blaming the victims thing.
Exactly. And it dehumanizes people, which
Yeah.
is exactly what the show's trying to make us question, right?
Definitely. Now, the voting rules this season, that was a new twist.
Right. It adds a whole nother layer to the whole, like, moral dilemma thing.
Like, Gifgun tries to get people to vote to end the games, but they're too desperate for the money.
It's like their ethics are just overshadowed by their need to survive.
It's sad, but it's real. Like,
Yeah.
the show makes us face these uncomfortable truths about, like, poverty and desperation.
Yeah, it doesn't shy away from those hard topics.
And then, the biggest twist of all, the front man's playing the games.
Whoa. Hold on, what?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, is he helping Gi-hun?
Yes.
Is he working against him? What's going on?
Talk about a mind-blowing reveal. The writers really got us good with that one.
It makes you question everything, right? Like, is he a true believer in the games? Or is there something else going on?
It's like he's playing both sides, which is kind of brilliant from a storytelling perspective. It keeps you guessing.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the new characters, too, because, wow, this season brought in some interesting ones.
Oh, yeah. Like, who stood out to you?
Well, Thanos, obviously. The, leader of the pro-game faction. Ruthless.
Oh, totally. Like, embodies that whole win-at-all-costs mentality.
Exactly. And then Hyunju, the transgender woman. Her strength and resilience were just, wow.
Such an important character. And the way she defies expectations. Powerful.
So true. It's like the show's pushing us to, reconsider our assumptions about people.
And how about the games themselves? They get even more intense this season.
Oh, definitely. Pentathlon and Mingle especially. Like, they force the players into these super messed up social situations.
It's like they're designed to bring out the worst in people.
Like, the games themselves are a commentary on, like, competition and survival in the real world.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, how systems can push us to do things we wouldn't normally do.
Speaking of the real world, the parallels are just everywhere this season. Like, the economic inequality, the obsession with wealth.
It's all there, right? Like, it's not subtle, but it's effective.
Totally. Like, no eel. She goes from being an amusement park worker to, like, a pink guard. Talk about a tragic arc.
Heartbreaking, right? But it shows how, like, desperation can make people complicit in the very system that's hurting them.
Yeah. And Gi-hun, even though he's trying to fight the system, he ends up manipulating people too.
It's that question of like, do the ends justify the means?
Right. And the show doesn't give us any easy answers, which I think is what makes it so good.
It leaves you thinking long after the episode's over.
So true. Now, Junho, he's still out there searching for the truth about the games.
And his brother, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, the whole storyline with his brother being the front man, that's a whole other level of messed up.
And that cliffhanger ending with the captain. What's going on there?
Right. Is he a double agent? Or is there even more to it?
So many questions. The writers are playing with us.
Like, nobody can be trusted.
And that feeling of paranoia. That's what makes this show so gripping. You never know what's going to happen next.
I know. Okay, so we've covered a lot, but there's still so much to unpack.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, it's like the web, right? Like, everyone's caught up in it. Even the ones who, like, started out wanting to do good.
It makes you wonder, like, can anyone escape it? This whole cycle of, violence and messed up stuff.
Right. But then the finale, oh my God, talk about intense.
So much happens. Gihun leading that revolt against the Game Masters, that was crazy.
It's like all of a sudden the games aren't fun anymore. They're like a war zone.
Totally. And you see how the pressure just breaks some people.
And then others, like they find this strength you wouldn't expect, like Hyunju.
Yeah, she was amazing. Like taking down those guards, so badass.
It's like she becomes the symbol of like rebellion against the odds.
Totally. And then the front man, right, fighting alongside Gihun for a minute anyway.
So what was that all about? Like, was he really helping?
I know. And then he just snaps back into being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Killing Jungbei's like it's nothing.
And that line, witness the consequences of your little game, so cold.
Like all that hope Gihun had, just crushed.
It makes you wonder if it's even possible to like change anything.
Right. Is Gihun just fighting a losing battle?
I mean, we know there's a season 3 coming, so I guess we'll find out.
True, true. But the article, it goes into the front man's backstory, too. Like, what happened to him?
Oh, yeah. They give us, like, glimpses into his past.
It's sad, actually. Like, he lost his wife. He made some bad choices.
It kind of explains, why he's so cynical. Like, he's just lost all faith in humanity.
And his brother, Junho, he represents the opposite, right? Like, he still believes in justice.
He's trying to hold the front man accountable, even though it's his own brother.
That's got to be tough, going up against your own family like that.
And he's risking everything to expose the games. But will it even make a difference?
And then, that twist. At the end of Junho's storyline, the captain.
Wait, yeah. What was that about?
He's in on it, like connected to the game somehow.
Woo! Hold on, I totally forgot about that.
It's like the conspiracy goes even deeper than we saw it. And the captain seems so, helpful.
It makes you wonder who else is involved. Like, who can you even trust?
Right. It's like everyone's playing a role in this whole messed up thing, even if they don't realize it.
Like, no will. Becoming a pink guard, that was like a symbol of how the system just sucks people in.
Totally. She started out wanting to help her family, and then...
So, like, the games twist everything, even good intentions.
Okay, the games themselves, Season 2, they upped the ante, right?
Pentathlon and Mingle, those were rough.
Like, they were designed to, like, break down social norms, make people turn on each other.
It's like a commentary on, how competition can make us lose our humanity.
And that giant piggy bank hanging over the barracks.
Huh.
So creepy.
Yeah, every time someone died, those coins would clink, like a reminder of what it was all about.
Money. Like, human life is just a number.
And that's the scary part, right? It's not just a show. It's like a reflection of our own world.
Yeah, the themes in Squid Game, they're not just made up. They're real. And that's, I think, why it hits so hard. It's
a wake-up call. Like, hey, this stuff is happening, even if we don't want to see it. It makes you think, like, are we that far off from something like Squid Game,
I mean, hopefully not. But yeah, it definitely makes you question things.
Like, are we just turning a blind eye to the bad stuff? As long as we're comfortable,
Yeah. And the article talked about Gihun, too, and how he ends up using the same, like, tactics as the Game Masters.
Right, to try and, like, take them down.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. Like, is he becoming the thing he hates?
It's that whole ends justify the means thing again. It's tricky, right?
Totally. Like, if you have to compromise your morals to fight for what's right, is it even worth it?
Heavy stuff, man. But that's what makes Squid Game so good. It makes you think about these, like, gray areas.
Exactly. It's not all black and white.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answers.
Which is, more like real life. Right.
Totally. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Squid Game Season 2, I'm left with this, like, one big question.
Okay, hit me.
It's about Gihun, but it's also, like, bigger than that. It's about all of us.
I'm listening.
If you were Gihun, knowing what you know now about the games, about how people can be, would you try to stop it all? Or would you just walk away?
Wow. That's a tough one. I honestly don't know what I would do.
Right. It makes you think. And that's what we wanted to do today, get everyone thinking.
Because, even though the show's dark and all, there's hope in that, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're even having these conversations, that's a good thing.
It means we're not just accepting things as they are, we're questioning them.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And keep those conversations going.